Good evening, everybody. 10 people already. That's good. I hope everyone's well. I suspect those 10 people are all regulars. So hello again and welcome any new people that have come. As usual, we'll just wait a few minutes before we start. Not too long. Oh, 2 people left. Charming. Just to give you an update on everything while we've had a week off. If anyone's seen, Derek Asamoah today has put a lovely video in support of the Carlisle Reunited campaign, which is really good of him. I'm sure most of us were there when he scored that goal and silenced the cop. Supporter and kiosk supporter Lee Rotherham has kindly donated, but by doing so, he's created a little quirky video of using his daily exercise where he walks down to Brunton Park and donates at the ticket office. It's worth a little watch if you've not seen it. And of course, we launched the Looking Good bit of Carlisle Reunited. So even if you've got no money to pledge, you can still help the fund by literally going on the link. It's in the side somewhere there. And you just need to watch the video of Tim Barker, Looking Good, the Carlisle United song from way back when. Young fans, if you don't know the song, it's a classic. But once that gets to 3,000, which should do in a couple of weeks, we've got a load of money pledged by people, so that's good, and it'll all add to the pot. Thanks again for everyone's support. It's been really good. We know you're enjoying the videos and the content, and thanks for all the well wishes. That's great. And if you need any more information on the fund and why we're doing it, just head to the kiosk website or any of our social media pages, and you can look at you can read our sort of bit on it. You can donate, like Lee Rotherham. You can donate a little bit every month if you want to. That's perfectly that's easy to do, and you can watch our sort of campaign video, which if you haven't seen it, quite a lot of people have said they've enjoyed it. So it gives you all the feels if you're a Carlisle fan. Makes you a bit emotional. So try not to cry, although apparently our chairman Frank did, and a few of us as well. Okay, tonight we have, as usual, 20 questions with a possible highest score of 27. We have got everything from some modern stuff right back down to a question on the 50s. And of course, I think it was today. Sorry, I just itched my ear in front of everyone. That's not very nice. It was the anniversary of when we beat AS Roma in the Stadio Olimpico. Anyone there? I don't know if anyone went. But, Keith, was Q sat there? I don't know. Anyway, let's make a start. As usual, I will come back to the first 5 questions once I've reeled through these, and then I'll go through the answers. Without further ado, Be Just and Quiz On, 1st of June, 2020. Question 1. Topical. In the popular Carlisle United hit Looking Good, brackets where Carlisle United, who do the lyrics refer to as the Carlisle manager? Now, if you want to cheat, why don't you just go and look at the link? I don't mind. In the popular Carlisle United hit Looking Good, where Carlisle United, who do the lyrics refer to as the Carlisle manager? Question number 2. Had a few questions on this game over the past, but so much happened. In the conference playoff semi-final, Danny Livesey scored Carlisle's first goal, but who scored the second? So that's obviously in normal time of the game. In the conference playoff semi-final against Aldershot, Livesey scored the first. Who scored the second? It was at the Waterworks, and if anyone knows the answer, they'll know that player came steaming in from halfway to do it, and to put it away. For a change that night, I fancied the Waterworks, and I'm glad I did because I had a great view of that goal. Question 3. During the decade of 2010 to 2019, who scored the most goals for Carlisle? So between 2010 and 19, that's obviously January to December, who scored the most for the club? There's a smoke alarm going off in my neighbourhood. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, a little bit to the 60s now. 27th of January, 1968. Newcastle United played Carlisle United at St James's Park in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Carlisle won 1-0 with a Tommy Murray goal. Who missed a penalty for Newcastle? You're doing well if you get that. 27th of January 1968, Newcastle played Carlisle at St James's Park in the third round of the FA Cup. We won 1-0 with a goal from Tommy Murray, but who scored the penalty? No, sorry. Who missed the penalty for Newcastle? Question 5 follows that up, because following that game, who did we play in the fourth round of the FA Cup 1968? So following that game, who did we play in the fourth round of the FA Cup 1968? Fast forward a few more years. Question 6. When we finished bottom of the league of the 1974-75 season, who finished second bottom? So when we finished bottom of the league in the 74-75 season, who finished second bottom? Question number 7. In the 2006-7 season, which former Carlisle United player scored on their debut in a game against Millwall at Brunton Park? In the 06-7 season, which former Carlisle United player scored on their debut in a game against Millwall at Brunton Park? Question 8. This is for 2 points. What 2 clubs does manager Chris Beech have in common with former boss Bob Stokoe? Which 2 clubs does manager Chris Beech have in common with former boss Bob Stokoe? Question number 9. Dick Young served Carlisle as a coach and manager for over 20 years. From which club did he join Carlisle in 1956? Dick Young served Carlisle as a coach and manager for over 20 years. From which club did he join Carlisle in 1956? Okay, the Anglo-Italian Cup. We had to do it today, didn't we? Question 10. Carlisle competed in the Anglo-Italian Cup in 1972 and recorded a famous victory over Roma. What was the name of the other Italian team that we played? Carlisle competed in the Anglo-Italian Cup in 1972 and recorded a famous victory over AS Roma. What was the name of the other Italian team that we played? There's another Anglo-Italian question coming up later in the quiz. Okay, question 11 is one of our name the season questions. So we are looking for a format. So, for example, had it been the season just passed, you need to write the format as in 2019-20. Okay, so name the season. Our first league fixture was a 2-0 defeat to Luton at Brunton Park. We were knocked out of the FA Cup 6-1 in the second round away to Tranmere, and Billy Barr became our caretaker manager. Name the season. Our first league fixture was a 2-0 defeat to Luton at Brunton Park. We were knocked out of the FA Cup 6-1 in the second round away to Tranmere, and Billy Barr became our caretaker manager. Question 12. When Carlisle came into being in May 1904, their home ground was not Brunton Park. Name the ground where they played at. And I'll tell you what, if you can name the area where it is, well, you'll know where it is in if you're from Carlisle. You get an extra point. So when Carlisle came into being in May 1904, we didn't play at Brunton Park. Name the ground that we played at. Question number 13. In the climax to Carlisle United's promotion winning season of 73-74, both they and their main rivals, Leyton Orient, played the same team at home in their final respective league fixture. Name the team. In the climax to Carlisle United's promotion winning season of 1973-74, both they and their main rivals, Leyton Orient, played the same team at home in their final respective league fixture. Who was that team? Question 14. Tom Miller, Andy Priest, Joe Thompson have all played for Carlisle United and which other club? Tom Miller, Andy Priest, Joe Thompson, all ex-Carlisle and ex-who else? Question 15. Which ex-Carlisle United player had this career brings a little tear to my eye reading these X now. Tranmere, Shrewsbury on loan, Bury, Sheffield Wednesday, Crawley, Oldham, and Carlisle United between 2016 and 2020. Which ex-Carlisle United player had this career? Tranmere, Shrewsbury on loan, Bury, Sheffield Wednesday, Crawley, Oldham, and Carlisle United between 2016 and 2020. And we're all going to miss him. 16. Which club relegated us to the conference on our penultimate game of the 03-04 season? And for a second point, who was their goal scorer that day? Which club relegated us to the conference on our penultimate game of the 03-04 season? And for a second point, who was their goal scorer that day? "17. Today's lesson, Latin. At the time of United's promotion to the First Division in 1974, the club's official badge contained a Latin phrase. What was that phrase? And for a bonus point, what is the English translation? So at the time of United's promotion to the First Division in 1974, the club's official badge contained a Latin phrase. What was that phrase? And for a bonus point, what is the English translation? 18. In all competitions, who was our top scorer in the 2019-20 season? In all competitions, who was our top scorer in the 2019-20 season? And 19. Back to the Anglo-Italian Cup. Okay, so for this, there are 5 points. So back to the Anglo-Italian Cup. United competed in the Cup in 1972. Name the other English Cup clubs to compete in the tournament. A point for each one. So when we competed in the Anglo-Italian Cup in 1972, name the other English clubs to compete in the tournament. A point for each one. Apologies, I've lost the ability to speak English. And question 20. Which former Blue was loaned to us by Manchester United in 2010 and would go on to have a career playing for the likes of West Brom, Aston Villa, and for his country at Euro 2016? Which former Blue was loaned to us by Manchester United in 2010 and would go on to have a career playing for West Brom and Aston Villa and for his country at Euro 2016? Okay, for any latecomers who have still been in the beehive at kickoff, I'll quickly run through the first 5 questions and then I'll run through the answers. Question number 1. In the popular Carlisle United hit, Looking Good, We're Carlisle United, who do the lyrics refer to as the Carlisle manager? 2. In the conference playoff semi-final against Aldershot, Danny Livesey scored the Carlisle's first goal, but who scored the second? Question number 3. During the decade of 2010 to 19, who scored the most goals for Carlisle? So that's obviously January 2010 to December 2019. Who scored the most goals for Carlisle? Question 4 was the 27th of January 1968. Newcastle played Carlisle at St James's Park in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. We won 1-0 with a Tommy Murray goal. Who missed a penalty for Newcastle? So in 1968, when we played Newcastle at St James's and we had them 1-0, who missed a penalty for Newcastle? And question 5 was, following that game, who did we play in the 4th round of the FA Cup? So we beat Newcastle in the 3rd round of the FA Cup 1968. Who did we go on to beat? Right. I'll plug what we've been doing just really quickly again. We're obviously launched the Carlisle Reunited campaign. We feel like lots of supporters have asked us to help do our bit because we know all League Two clubs are going to have a lot of uncertainty coming up. So if you can, please do donate. If you can't donate, but you want to help, you can just, there's a link there. Go and click on the Looking Good video. Watch that a few times. Once that gets to 3,000 views, we're going to, we've got a lot of people pledging money to it. So That'll be good. There's support videos down there that you can watch from Derek Asamoah and a nifty little video from QOS supporter Lee Rotherham as he walks to Brunton Park and then he donates. He donates every month, which is just a little setup, which you can do on the QOS website. So if you want to donate like Lee, you can do. Dead easy. Okay, answers. Question number 1. The popular Carlisle United hit Looking Good, where Carlisle United, who do the lyrics refer to as the Carlisle manager, Alan Ashman? He used to spell Brunton Park as the ground. What do you mean? Well, question number 2. In the conference playoff semi-final, Danny Livesey scored Carlisle's first goal, but who scored the second? It was Chris Billy. Steaming in, putting that side foot volley in the waterworks. Class. Question number 3. During the decade of 2010 to 2019, who scored most goals for Carlisle United? It's Charlie Wyke. And question number 4. If you got this, well done. I've got hiccups, sorry. 27th of January, 68, we played Newcastle, third round of the FA Cup. Who missed the penalty for them? Ollie Burton. Question 5, following that game, who did we play in the 4th round? Everton, which we lost. Question, talking of losing, when we finished bottom of the league in 1974-75, who finished second bottom? That was Chelsea. And question 7. In the 2006-7 season, which former Carlisle United player scored on their debut in a game against Millwall at Brunton Park? That was Jermaine Beckford versus Millwall. And I thought Jermaine Beckford looked rubbish at this time for us. Shows what I know about football. Question 8. What 2 clubs does manager Chris Beech have in common with former boss Bob Stokoe? The answers are Blackpool and Rochdale at a point each. So Beech played for Blackpool and coached Rochdale. Stokoe managed both. Question 9 was Dick Young served Carlisle as a coach and manager for over 20 years. From which club did he join Carlisle in 1956? The answer was Lincoln City. I wonder if they still played an air raid siren in corners in 1956 down there. Question 10. Carlisle competed in the Anglo-Italian Cup in 1972 and recorded a famous victory over Roma. What was the name of the other Italian team that we played? It was Catanzaro, which is in the region of Calabria. Every day is a school day on these quizzes. 11. Name the season. Our first league fixture was 2-0 defeat at Luton at Brunton Park. We were knocked out of the FA Cup 6-1 in the second round away to Tranmere, and Billy Barr became our caretaker manager. The answer was the 2001-2002 season. Question 12. When United came into being in May 1904, their home ground was not at their present location. Name the ground they played at. It was Millholm Bank in Curragh. 13. In the climax to Carlisle United's promotion-winning season of 73-74, both they and their main rivals, Leyton Orient, played the same team at home in their final respective league fixture. The team was Aston Villa. And question 14. Tom Miller, Andy Priest, Joe Thompson have all played for Carlisle United, and which other club? I suppose it's a kind of trick question because not necessarily a club at the moment. It's Bury. 15. Which ex-Carlisle United player had this career? Tranmere, Shrewsbury on loan, Bury, Sheffield Wednesday, Crawley, Oldham and Carlisle between 2016 and 2020. It was Mike Jones. Good player. 16. Which club relegated us to the conference on our penultimate game of the 03-04 season? And for a second point, who was their goal scorer that day? Right, it was Cheltenham Town. And the goal scorer was Coyote Odejayi. We'll move on from that one. At the time of United's promotion to the First Division in 1974, the club's official badge contained a Latin phrase. What was that phrase? And for a bonus point, what is the English translation of the phrase? Uniter Fortia. I hope I said that right. That means United is stronger. Uniter fortia, United is stronger. Question 18 in all competitions. Who was our top scorer in the 2019-20 season? It was Harry McCurdy. And 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 points up for grabs here. Back to the Anglo-Italian Cup. What other English clubs competed in that tournament? Sunderland, Stoke City, Leicester City, Birmingham City, Blackpool. Sunderland, Stoke, Leicester, Birmingham, Blackpool. And the final question tonight, which former Blue was loaned to us by Manchester United in 2010 and would go on to have a career playing for West Brom, Aston Villa, and for his country at Euro 2016? Of course, it was James Chester. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed tonight. If anyone wants to find out more about Kiosk and what we do, or if you want to get involved, we're always looking for hungry people that can help and such. And of course, if you want to find out about the Carlisle Reunited campaign, as I've banged on about all night, please go to our website, ask us on social media, ask us if you see us in the street on your daily exercise, whatever. Thank you very much for another quiz. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Stay safe. See you all soon. Bye-bye.